who has got the background of both web services, blockchain technologies, and the underlying technology around it. Okay, so there is something called a hot wallet. Okay, hot wallet is it is a part of it is residing on one of the nodes, which is part of the complete blockchain. Okay, and this hot wallet is the operating account which is used for liquidity management, and this is connected over internet, right? That was the only problem which was exploited by the professionals to siphon off the money in this particular CoinDCX hack. Okay, we will see subsequently how it was done, but this is the underlying factor of how the blockchain works and how hot wallet works. Then there is a concept called cold wallet also. Hot wallet is basically it is residing on the node, but it is connected to the internet. Whereas after all the consensus has been done, blocks has been added, and then that particular transaction gets stored offline into a cold wallet. Okay, so whenever a particular person deals with any cryptocurrencies, I have purchased, I have transacted some cryptocurrencies, and I have taken it, purchased it, then it goes into the cold wallet, which is stored offline. So whenever any attacker wants to get access to this particular thing, they'll not be able to connect because it is offline. So you cannot get access to cold wallets. So be rest assured that whosoever is dealing with cryptocurrency domain, if their transactions are stored in cold wallet, then they are completely safe. It is again, as in defense parlance, what we keep saying, it is a air gap network where direct access by any outsider person will not be possible, right? And there is another issue which is called wormhole in blockchain technology. Like we have different exchanges. Like if you want to convert from stocks to gold to silver to any other aspect, then there are some mechanisms set up. Similarly, in blockchain technology, there is a concept called wormhole. So there is a source blockchain, let us say Bitcoin. So these are connected to the internet. Then if somebody wants to convert that source blockchain, that is Bitcoin, to let us say Solana, then this wormhole helps in doing that transaction. Okay, so they know both the content of what Bitcoin, how much is its value, how is the Solana is performing, how it's its value, and it then converts and then transfer the relevant amount to the different wallet, and that is how the transaction happens from Bitcoin to Solana, or Solana to Ethereum, or Ethereum to say any other aspects. All right, and these are various technologies which are used for transacting in cryptocurrencies. So please understand there are two distinct concepts called hot wallet, cold wallet, and a wormhole, right? So if your cryptocurrencies are in cold wallet, then they are not touched. If it is in hot wallet, through wormhole, it can go to the different kind of currencies. All right. Now, having understood all these technological parts, what is the vulnerability landscape through which any external attacker can attack your exchanges? Like CoinDCX is one exchange, right? So any centralized exchange like CoinDCX, Binance, there are a whole lot of things like this. So they have these three vulnerabilities. First is web security, because they are connected on website or on internet. So there are through Web3 technology. People have created some kind of portals. People have created some kind of interfaces through which an individual can access the exchange and then transact on it. So as we have access to that particular web portal, same is the case with attacker or a hacker or a malicious actor also. Then there is something called blockchain technology, which is the underlying technology to for this entire transactions, which is primarily extremely secure. So there is no need for worry about at present stage. But then we will see going forward as the technology evolves, the hackers find the ways and means to break it also. And then there are some financial regulations which might pose a problem or might create vulnerabilities in a system. Like we will see subsequently, we don't have any regulations in India, so practically we'll not be able to trace it back or find exactly what is happening and things like that, right? And these are the other vulnerabilities which typically are exploited by the nefarious actors. So hot wallets, their exposure to the internet part of it for active liquidity operations. This is the primary target, which you will see in multiple hacks. Then there are server-side vulnerabilities. So all these nodes are basically they have some kind of server operations wherein through application performance interfaces, the various applications they access the server-side resources and the necessary transactions are taken place, right? So there can be multiple misconfigured APIs. Okay, so these APIs basically are the connecting interface for all the applications. So whenever you want to access something, so the transaction must be done in a typical way, which may not be the end user may not be aware. So for him to do transact in a way, APIs help them out. Apart from this, like I have covered earlier, for wormholes or things like that, there are a lot of third-party integrations. They are such as liquidity partners. So from Bitcoin, somebody else wants to take it out. So there is a third-party integration, right? So like this, there are you must be aware that as of now itself there are thousands and thousands of cryptocurrencies available in the market. So every cryptocurrency will have its own third-party integration, right? And finally, though it is mostly covered by a lot of processes, people inside is the weakest link. So there are a lot of insider threats which gives away the keys, which gives away the passwords and things like that. So their credentials are compromised and things. So all these things are the vulnerabilities into this blockchain as well as web technology, right? Coming to, there are some oversight gaps also. Now, what probably we will see in, subsequently also, there is actually a lack of real-time monitoring on all internal operational wallets. Practically, you know what transactions are happening, what is the RAM utilization, server utilization, all those things are managed or monitored. But when you want to monitor these operational wallets where liquidity is there, where operational amount is there, which is used for transacting, monitoring that as of now, there is no real monitoring tool. Yeah, it is developing, but yes, there is a lack of those tools right now. Then, as of now, there is insufficient threat modeling for liquidity provision accounts also, right? Most targeted things are those which are available in the market. Like Microsoft operating system will be the most targeted because it is mostly used. Android will be the most targeted. Whereas there are some Linux distros which may not be attacked because not many people use, so people don't find it good enough to attack also. So in such a kind of thing, if I want to monitor as a cybersecurity professional, if I want to monitor from where the threat is coming, then as of now, it is very difficult to monitor all these things, right? Another very important aspect of or oversight gap is there are no disclosure protocols. So we will see there are no regulations itself. So there are no SOPs, standard procedures for incident disclosure. So if anybody reports that incident, then what we are supposed to do as a exchange or a community, it is not specified anywhere. It is evolving. With this also, CoinDCX also, CoinDCX has taken some steps, and we will see how it will improve or how it will deter this kind of effects in a later stage. And most importantly, coming to the VAPT part of it, right? VAPT is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. On normal banking websites or normal applications or normal software development lifecycle related projects, there are a lot of VAPT tools available. But when it comes to blockchain technology, their server-side scripting, their APIs integration and things like that, as of now, there are not many tools available, which is still under the development stage, especially handling those which are handling sensitive keys. And in this case, it is a problem of sensitive keys which was compromised, right? So these are the oversight gaps which has been noticed. Now let us come to the background of what has happened in India, right? So India, as you all know, it is emerging as a major market for cryptocurrencies. Though there are no clear-cut guidelines or regulations controlling them, it is not recognized also. But then yes, authority has been given to operate such kind of exchanges. So with that, CoinDCX in 2018 it was established, and as on date it has got 16 million users and you see valuation of $2.3 billion. So that is the kind of transactions which CoinDCX itself is doing. There are a lot of platforms like WazirX which is again doing a lot of work. But you all must be aware about what happened in July 2024, exactly a year back. That was the first major breach on an Indian cryptocurrency exchange. Okay, so WazirX lost almost to the tune of $235 million, and it was clearly noted that the Lazarus Group, which is a famous North Korean equity group, which was behind that hack. They have developed this expertise level in trying to hack into blockchain technology, trying to hack on the financial markets, and that is their forte. And that they keep doing this. Why I'm hampering on this Lazarus Group is, though in CoinDCX we don't know who has done that, who is attributed to. But if you see, it is exactly mirror image of what Lazarus Group did in July 2024 for WazirX, right? Now, what are the challenges? What the hacker or attacker they exploited? So there are technical defenses, and they basically eroded the trust in the centralized exchanges. So just to brief all of you, in the cryptocurrency exchange market, there are three kind of exchanges: centralized exchange, CEX, like Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin, or CoinDCX is also one of the centralized exchanges. Then there is something called decentralized exchanges also. So Uniswap, DYDX, Dodo, all these are decentralized exchanges where there is independently given to independent operators. They operate through smart contracts. They operate through independent networks. There are no regulators, so independently they manage the entire ecosystem. Okay, but these are all highly volatile. So normally they are not so effective. But then that is the biggest problem in decentralized exchanges. So to overcome all the problems what centralized exchanges have and decentralized exchanges also have, now a hybrid exchange is also coming into play. Though it is still in the development stage, but then it is coming out in a big way, right? So you take the best of centralized exchanges and you take the best of decentralized exchanges and try to create a fantastic ecosystem to protect the investor trust and investor confidence. So we will see how this evolves and how hybrid exchanges come into play, right? So now come to exactly what happened on July 19th. So please note the timelines of it. Okay. 4 a.m. IST, Indian Standard Time, there was some unusual outflow detected from internet wallet, right? And then there was a ethical hacker known as Zach XBT who noticed it through some internal, because he was also mining the blockchain. So while mining, somebody noticed it. Then he flagged it actually. So he flagged that suspicious activity at 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, right? Then thereafter at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, the CEO of CoinDCX, Mr. Sumit Gupta, he publicly disclosed the breach on X, formerly Twitter, right? And when he disclosed it at 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time, the affected systems were isolated and the investigations were launched. Now, what has happened? Please understand this very clearly. Yeah. So if we can understand what happened
True.
post post that event. So the services were restored. There was no problem in that because it was identified, because it was tackled, and all the services were fully restored after thorough security checks. However, there is a big problem. The disclosure was done after 17 hours. So the breach happened at 4 a.m. and the disclosure one was done at 9 p.m. India Standard Time. After this disclosure was done, realizing what exactly has happened and how to plug all the vulnerabilities and things like that. So there was a bug bounty program which was launched by CoinDCX only, right? It was worth whopping almost $11 million. This was announced to enhance the platform security. Please mark these events and these options very clearly, because for all the investors or all the financial people who are involved in cryptocurrencies or investment or legal aspects, these are the pointers which you should know: disclosure, bug bounty program, what are the services, what are the technical activities, what happened, how it was plugged. And if we can see there is a predominant action taken on all these fronts, then you can go on investing. So that is probably becoming the parameter of how you evaluate a particular crypto exchange. So next time onwards, whenever you want to, let us say, evaluate whether you want to invest in crypto or CoinDCX or WazirX or Binance or any other crypto exchange, these are the parameters which you should note or monitor to evaluate the efficacy of that particular platform, right? How technically qualified the people are there, how quickly they notice it, how quickly they can find out there is a breach, and how quickly they can come out of it, the resilience of it, right? And then there are how bug bounty programs are monitor their bug bounty programs, monitor the through bug bounty programs which are the hacks or which are the vulnerabilities which have been explored or which has been noticed and the company has patched for it, right? So these are extremely important parameters for all of us to know. Now coming to the intentions or motivation of the hacker. Now what we have noticed, it's a pure financial gain. Why we say that? Because attackers targeted non-customers. That is only the treasury assets, only the account, operational account, which was used for liquidity management, right? They extracted almost close to $44 million, converting them into more fungible tokens, as we have seen earlier, Solana, then Ethereum, through Tornado Cash. There was no ideological or geopolitical messaging, and there was no ransom demands, right? And most important aspect, again, I'm saying it is, though it came a bit late, but CoinDCX swift isolation that minimized the exposure. Otherwise, from $44 million, it could have increased much more than that. So isolating a particular node or a server which was attacked, that is very interesting to monitor what is happening in your ecosystem and to control it, right? Now let us come to some background of hackers or their technical profile, because of which we will understand what are they targeting, right? So as I briefed earlier, that there is no specific accountability or nobody has claimed the responsibility for this CoinDCX hack, but Lazarus Group, they are mastering all these blockchain kind of hacks, and a similar methodology can be seen. So a bit knowledge for all of you to understand is Lazarus Group is a North Korean APT group, Advanced Persistent Threat Group, which are primarily targeting all the bitcoins or all the financial systems, financial institutions across the world. And please understand that there is a huge lifestyle gap in North Korea. So when the topmost echelon of North Korean leadership, they see any person who is motivated enough to come out from their low lifestyle to a higher lifestyle, they make them pay them anything. And for that particular motivation, these are the people who go after any of the exchanges across the world, right? So unless otherwise you have got some state backing, this kind of sophisticated technical hack is absolutely not possible. So if we understand the hacker's background, the advanced blockchain, they knew server side exploitation skills, they knew how cross chain fund movement happens, to through wormhole and things like that. What exactly is required for closing the tracks or wiping out the tracks, so entire thing was known to them. So it is not definitely not a job of a script kiddie or a hacktivist or things like that, right? So they first exploited a vulnerability in an internal operational wallet used for liquidity provisioning. How exactly it is done is for authentication mechanism for all these things. There are some private keys and public keys pairs which the servers use for authentication purpose. So this private key was leaked, which was used to authenticate the transactions. So with the moment the hacker gets the access to the private key, they can see what transactions is happening in the operational account. And they can, with that private key itself, they can amend the transactions or change the transaction. Now, what has happened before it gets written into the block, as we understood in the blockchain, the transaction gets written into every block, and then everybody, there is a consensus mechanism. Once everybody says that, okay, transaction is okay, perfectly all right, then it is written onto the block and hashed. But in this case, before it gets written, they have changed the transaction amount itself, and they have extracted and transferred it through Tornado Cash through to some other bitcoins. So basically, they were stable coin into the operational wallets. They were bridged from Solana, then subsequently to Ethereum. So what actually happened through the wormhole? They already had Ethereum worth of value available with them. So they just exchanged it with Solana. Same thing they did with Solana's stable coin, and then routed through Tornado Cash. That indicates familiarity with the privacy tools to obfuscate and obscure the on-chain trails. So you'll not be able to find out exactly where these transactions has happened. Okay, and the hash sophisticated nature is actually suggests a team with experience in both web service penetration as well as decentralized financial protocols, right? And basically, it is very professional and financially motivated threat actor. That is what is the highlight or extent of Lazarus Group of North Korea. So, whenever you come across these kind of instances, please monitor all these aspects. So you will be able to maybe find some similarities, find some operational factors, and if you can immediately, if you are maybe crypto mining at that point of time, if you notice this kind of event, then you can always what Zach XBT has done it. You can also give the notice to a particular CoinDCX exchange or any other exchange what you are working with, right? So these are the kind of awareness which is expected from all the people who are operating on in this domain. Sorry. So what were the vulnerabilities which were exposed by the hack? So the first and the foremost is server-side vulnerability. Okay, there was a weakness in the internal operational account server security. So please mind these words very, very carefully. It is a server security vulnerability. So basically, when we say there is a server website and there is a blockchain technology, so blockchain was not attacked. Okay, only the server was attacked. The server which was connected onto the web on the internet that had some vulnerabilities for authentication mechanism. The keys were exposed, and through that the money was extracted. Then another problem which the hacker exploited, there was insufficient segregation between those operational wallets and other wallets on the block. Okay, there was lack of proper isolation. So normally, when you configure technically these kind of servers, server mechanism where liquidity amount is stored or transacted, then you must have for every transaction there must be some isolation. So this is what we call in programming parlance as secure by design. So for every aspect, for every transaction, if you include security into it, then only your all the transactions become safe. Okay. Another important aspect which we found is the public disclosure, which occurred 17 hours after the initial analyst alert. If that disclosure would have done earlier, probably some other people would have noticed it, or they would have stopped the transactions and things like that. So disclosure is also very, very important, which if all the hackers are noticing it, when you disclose, are you aware in the first place whether the hack has taken place or not? If they understand that you are not aware, then they will come out more strongly the next time onwards. So that is why we say it is a big vulnerability which has been exposed by the hack. Okay, then there is another important aspect of cross-chain exploitation also. The attackers were very clever, they were very professional. They exploited cross-chain bridges, mixers for laundering the money. So extended from different bitcoins. When they transferred into different bitcoins, they exploited this wormhole. So all these knowledge of the entire ecosystem is very, very important for the professionals to know, right? And as I covered earlier, there is a real-time monitoring lack. Okay, there is no effective real-time monitoring and anomaly detection. If there are tools and techniques available, and as of now, artificial intelligence and machine learning can help in this domain, wherein even if manually you can't notice, the SOC analyst, even if they don't notice it, but still artificial intelligence and machine learning can detect those anomalies, and they can create a kind of automated responses which can stop or which can isolate the affected party. So this is also very, very important aspect to know about vulnerabilities which was exposed by the hack. Now, this was about CoinDCX. Now, what are the broader crypto platform security challenges? All of us must understand, because last year it happened with WazirX, now it has happened with CoinDCX, and there are multiple crypto exchanges which maybe some of you may be operating or some of may be using it. So, what is the repercussion for all those platforms, right? So, in 2024, just for the knowledge of the audience, the losses due to access control failures, right? They rose by 900%, highlighting a growing threat, right? So these centralized exchanges, they face increasingly sophisticated attacks, as we have seen in this CoinDCX attack. And the traditional security tools, they are often inadequate for these complex hacks. That is where I'm saying probably we have to take help of artificial intelligence, machine learning to continuously sift through these data sets, whatever is happening, monitor all the events, log all the events, get the exact anomalies, and then start bring out your intelligence to be prepared for next time onwards, right? There is another important aspect growing forward, is there is a industry-wide lack of standardized security protocol in this particular domain, in the crypto domain per se. And obviously, there are regulatory delays, particularly in India, that are actually become making it more risk prone, right? Now, if we come to legal and regulatory loopholes, what all the investors should know. Basically, India's regulatory gap, as you know, as on today, India lacks a comprehensive crypto regulations. Okay. And despite there is something given in the IT Act, Section 43A, which is formal investor protection, but this is very limited. It talks only about protecting the data, right? If you have not taken adequate measures to protect the investor data or the transaction data, then you are liable to be punished. But if you see, these exchanges, they face only civil liability for poor security practices, nothing more than that. That is the biggest constraint when it comes to legal and regulatory loopholes, right? And there are no guaranteed recourse. If you have seen, when through wormhole, the bitcoins were transferred from one form of cryptocurrency to another form, finding that chain itself is very, very difficult. So getting the losses recovering them back, it is next to impossible as of now, as on date. We will see probably if quantum technologies can help us out, or maybe some Bitcoin advances can help us out in going forward. All the technologies are still working on it, but then yes, we have to be aware about all these aspects. And there is inconsistent transparency, right? Transparency and accountability across these platforms. Who discloses what? Whether the threat intelligence is shared among different agencies, exchanges, how they share the intelligence, how that intelligence is getting collated into a effective threat mechanism. All these things are still evolving stages right now. So with all these problems, that is the thing which the hackers or the nefarious actors, they are taking, exploiting it basically, right? So what actionable cybersecurity tips for retail investors we can gather through this entire process? If you have seen, um, you have to understand there are hardware wallets, right? So store your significant crypto in ledger or Trezor hardware wallets, the cold wallets which I covered earlier, right? So they are the safest part. They are not connected on internet. They are offline, so nobody can reach them. So whenever you are transacting, transact immediately and send the transactions to your hardware wallets. That is cold wallets, right? As of now, in the cryptocurrency domain, multi-signature wallets are coming in a big way now. So if one key is missing, then the hacker has taken, or they have exploited it. But if you have multiple signatures, that is multiple people being part of that transaction, then it is very difficult for hacking that particular transaction. So you should have the like in our banking system, we have maker checker or maker approver, right? Those kind of things. So there are only two levels of multiple signatures in authorizing a transaction, but there is a need for multi signatures. So whenever you are transacting in a cryptocurrency kind of exchange right now, since the time it matures enough, we must ensure that there are multi signatures involved into it, right? Then enable two-factor authentication. Now, two-factor authentication is very, very important here for all of you to know that it is not SMS-based two-factor authentication. SMS are very, very easy to hack nowadays, right? So you never know that whenever somebody is trying to do hack, they must have already targeted the persons who are transacting onto bitcoins or onto any of the cryptocurrencies. They would have already siphoned off the credentials. They would have already siphoned off your SIM cards and things like that. So normal SMS based two-factor authentication, please avoid it. Use authenticator apps instead. There are a lot of authenticator apps with Microsoft or Google Authenticator or those kind of apps which keeps changing their authentication keys every 1 minute or even before that also, right? There is another important concept called whitelisting of withdrawals. So please ensure that you set withdrawal whitelist. You know that you are transacting on Bitcoin, or you are transacting on Solana, or you are transacting on any other cryptocurrency. So if that particular currency is being transacted, then I should transact, let us say, 1 lakh rupees. So those kind of things, if you set those withdrawal whitelist, and you know that tomorrow we are going to transact, like to give an analogy, in current crypto system or current banking system, we set limits, right? International transactions we disallow, local transactions, then Wi-Fi, all those kind of things. So in this case also, there is a facility called whitelisting withdrawals. So if somebody is withdrawing from your account, or if you are taking it from somebody, then you set those whitelists. And most importantly, please have real-time alerts configured or utilize those real-time transaction alerts. Yeah, and you should have those portfolio monitoring tools which are given by the centralized exchanges. So if they are giving it, it is for all of you to know that these are practically important. So you know that if there is any alert which is being forthcoming, which somebody has, some ethical hacker has noticed it, he has flagged it, and at that point of time, if you are transacting, it is a fantastic alert mechanism for all of you, right? Now, that is what I was covering earlier, but I want to re-emphasize here. So next time onwards, whenever you are trying to evaluate any crypto systems or a crypto platform, what all you want to look at the security part of it. So the first and the foremost thing which you should look at is check for cold wallet segregation and the treasury risk policies which are put across by the exchange operators onto their website or a web portal. If they are absolutely clear, then you know that they are secure enough. Okay. Then look for transparent incident disclosures and audit reports. So now with CoinDCX, where 17 hours has gone and they have not disclosed, but if they put it on their website or a portal, that in case of any incident within the next sorry within the next let us say 4 hours or 2 hours, we will disclose it. That is one kind of assurance which the crypto exchange can give you, or as a investor, you should look for those kind of incident disclosures and audit reports, what they put forward.
Yes. Yeah.
Then again, you assess the bug bounty programs.
Cryptocurrency.
So there are a lot of external audits. As of now, CERTIN has put in some mandatory audits which are to be done for all the financial institutions. So there is a need for some regulations in terms of conducting a third-party security audit for all the crypto kind of exchanges.
Just request the participants to put themselves on mute. It has got unmuted.
Yeah.
Small request, kindly mute yourselves.
Impossible.
It has got
Can you
unmuted.
mute, please?
I am just trying, sir. I'm just trying to see. Abhishek, can you help me out in this case, please? Can you help me in muting?
Yes, let me try.
A couple of participants have got unmuted. In
Sir,
fact,
I think Arun Goenka, sir.
Asar has muted himself. No problem. So we will.
Yeah, okay.
KP, you can help me in muting there.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. So
Can
taking
you
forward,
also mute other participants? Mohit S, can you mute yourself, please? Mohit Ji, if you can mute yourself.
yeah, thank you so much. Now, taking it forward, so if you assess the bug bounty programs, recently CoinDCX has launched almost $11 million worth bug bounty program. So a lot of hackers, a lot of activists, a lot of people will try and hack CoinDCX. They will put out their vulnerability reports. And then there are some audit reports and reports which CoinDCX will then put it across that these are the vulnerabilities which are found by the bug bounty program. And this is how we have countered those technical challenges, right? So as an investor, we must try and look out for these kind of programs. Then review platform's response time and communication during these incidents, whether it is publicly disclosed, whether it is disclosed to a close community, whether it is communicated only to the individual who is affected, and things like that. So if you review all these parameters by a particular centralized exchange, then you'll be able to evaluate that crypto platforms how they are handling the security overall and how you can trust it. So if you want to transact, it's very, very serious for you to lose out on multiple of your hard-earned money. Then you should make an effort to evaluate the security posture of any exchange, right? And prefer exchanges with the strong regulatory compliance and certification. Again, there is a lot of requirements in this domain also. Regulatory compliance, as of now, there are no regulatory issues, regulatory frameworks only. So first, we have to ensure that regulatory frameworks are there, and then there are certifications. Like in normal parlance, what we say that if an organization is ISO 27001 certified, or if the organization has SOC 2 Type 2 certification, that means their entire security mechanism it is proven. So SOC 2 Type 2 means over a period of 6 months, the company has consistently secured their internal infrastructure with adequate technical measures. So similarly, if there are some certifications which we can take care of, and we ensure that all these CoinDCX and things like that they are certified, then those certifications also prove the trust in those particular exchanges. All right. So just a comparative overview of all the major crypto breaches which has happened across the world for all of your knowledge. So you see Ronin network happened in 2022. That was the biggest till date. $625 million where amount was lost. There was some partial recovery, but I want you to pay attention to the attack vector part of it, right? Whether it is Ronin network, Poly network, Binance. Binance is one of the biggest centralized exchange. CoinCheck, Japanese exchange, FTX. Then come to WazirX and CoinDCX, which are India-based exchanges. When you say attack vector, so please understand this. Validator compromise. That means credentials are compromised. So a smart contract vulnerability. Basically, somebody has internally has given out their credentials through which the smart contract can be managed, right? Then hot wallet breach. Again, it is similar to what has happened in CoinDCX. Insider breach during bankruptcy or the private key compromise. So all these things were concerned somehow related to only the associated or integrated server, which is connected to the blockchain, the underlying blockchain technology. In most of the cases, either the partial recovery was done, but funds could not be recovered. No recovery, partial recovery. So if you understand, there are a lot of cyber insurance guys also are looking at it, though they have not laid their hands on cryptocurrencies market as of now. But then these are the problems which as investor we must know. So though in comparison to all the other hacks which happened earlier, the CoinDCX has got not much, just $44 million, and it was taken over by the CoinDCX treasury itself. So no loss to the individual users. So what are the lessons learned from this CoinDCX and the industry outlook? So basically, there are vulnerabilities. If these vulnerabilities are addressed or they are taken care of, how you can take care of? You have standardized security audits, third-party security certification. So if you do this, otherwise what happens is normally internally only we certify it and internally we'll take action on it. But when the third party comes, they will identify the things which you have missed. So that is how you address those vulnerabilities. Then you have some community-driven defenses, right? Poster collaborative threat sharing. What we are doing right now is sharing what is happening, how it is happening, and things like that. Like there are a lot of ISACs, information security sharing networks, right? And they are domain specific also. So these community-driven threat intelligence sharing, that also is very, very important in understanding which threat actors are attacking where at that point of time, right? And an important aspect is for the industry is to adopt real-time monitoring and cross-chain analytics. That is a gray area as of now in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency market. So there is a need for entire industry to take care of it. Then there is a requirement of regulatory clarity, wherein it is critical for the investor protection and enforcement. If we don't work on this, then there will be a problem, and then there will be you will not be able to take action whenever these kind of events happen. And forget about getting the money back, right? So for that, at least we should have some kind of regulatory backing, right? And investor vigilance, like practice personal security hygiene. So this is very, very important nowadays. As of now, we keep forgetting about personal hygiene itself. For HDFC account also, I got the same password. For SBI also, I got the same password. And for other banks also, I have the same password. And I keep knowing this. And keep share, or even though we don't share it, but there are people, trolls, who are prowling on all this information, and they can extract the information out of it. And for all of your information, I can tell you another important thing is there are websites and portals available which are guessing your password patterns also. So even if, let's say, when we change our passwords, we normally keep the pattern, right? Like a particular word and then some kind of mechanism in terms of numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, or those kind of numbers. But we keep changing the either 2 numbers, 3 numbers, or 1 letter or the 2 letters. That is the pattern which we are following in this entire process. But there are ways and mechanisms found by the hackers which can understand these patterns also. So they guess it, and next time onwards, even if you keep the same password, they'll be able to hack it. So the way forward is going passwordless. So that is evolving right now. Zero trust network, which is coming in a big way. So these are the ways forward technologically. But till the time it comes out, please practice personal security hygiene, digital hygiene. Don't share passwords even with your peers or subordinates or even family members. Okay, so the key takeaway from this entire thing is, let me assure this entire gathering is blockchain itself is highly secure by design. The blockchain is not hacked, or that is not compromised. Okay, it is the external system which is connected. So exchange, operational account, these are the common weak points. So if these are targeted, these are secured enough, then there is no need to worry. Okay, not just blockchain security, you have to secure all the interfaces, especially application programming interfaces, which we are using it for multiple integrations, which we are using it, right? So concluding it, if I would say, put it across, CoinDCX hack is serve as a stark reminder that no crypto platform is immune to evolving cyber threats. There are trolls who are targeting you all the time. They are looking at the loopholes. They are looking at the vulnerabilities. So the effective countermeasure to that is only vigilance and adherence to security-based practices. So, so it is incumbent on all the investors. It is incumbent on all the technologies involved in the security of these exchanges. It is incumbent on the founders of these exchanges to follow the security best practices. And while understanding legal rights is important, be prepared for regulatory gaps, because it is not that immediately maybe government of India will start working on it, or any other governments across the world are working on it. So we don't see anything formalized in a regulatory framework. So please be aware that there will be gaps. So be prepared with all those things, and prioritize your personal security measures to safeguard your assets, and demand transparency and accountability from all crypto platforms. What are your disclosure methods? How quickly you will disclose? What are your incident monitoring mechanisms? How will you counter the problems and areas? So if you get this transparency or seek this transparency from the exchanges, their owners, their technical fraternity, then definitely there is a way to go and take forward these crypto transactions. There are a lot of things which are happening, lot of good money, lot of exchanges. So let us be safe while transacting into this cryptocurrency domain. So that is all what I had. So if anybody has got any questions, I'll be happy to answer that. Or maybe if somebody has got a good feedback or use case, it will help us all understand the nuances of it also.
Certainly, sir. Thank you very much. I think for presenting. We also have Arun sir with us, who's our founder member of Siren. Arun sir, would you like to add? I think this was one of the fantabulous presentations that we have seen, and very well presented. It was such a crisp, yet very, very informative. And I think we are really thankful. So, Arun sir, if you're available, because I heard that he was possibly on a parallel call, there was some call going on. Arun sir, if you're there, if you have any participants, if you have any questions, Abhishek, if you would like to add in, I think it is a beautiful and a very yet simple, very informative yet simple presentation that we have seen, and it's an eye-opening presentation, certainly, sir. So, if I understand
so much.
correctly, the CoinDCX is an Indian platform or an exchange. Do I because the
Yes,
CEO is an Indian?
yes, correct.
Okay.
So if you can stop share
Yeah.
and try and understand from anyone. Satyendra or Surendra, somebody has raised their hands. I saw.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Surendra ji, if you have any questions, if you have any observations, I think Surendra ji is one of our frequent participants.
Okay.
And as the word spreads around, I think more and more people would definitely like to join in. I'm sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
hi.
please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Sir, this is regarding the evolving technologies. Are there any evolving technologies which can actually prevent or which can actually safeguard this such events in future? Right now, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Are there any evolving technologies like emerging technologies which are focusing on preventing such mishaps in future, sir?
Yeah, so that's what I covered also. That as of now, monitoring mechanism wise, they are evolving. But when you say apart from cryptocurrencies part, in the other domain, yes, there it has matured enough. So artificial intelligence, machine learning is helping in a big way in finding the anomalies in transactions or anomalies in any of the events which are happening. Whether if anybody is trying to connect to a server or to connect to a critical information infrastructure, then you can immediately catch that and stop it. So same thing, it can be applied here also, right? So those technologies are available. So it is just that we have to adopt them and take it forward.
Oh, sorry, sir. I
So
just joined late.
Security operations center is one such a part. So we can establish a seam and a SOAR combination to understand who is attacking at what point of time, if there are any anomalies, and immediately take action. Like it took 17 hours to just disclose, and then another 2 hours to isolate it also. Whereas there are a lot of SOAR technologies, security orchestration immediately. So the moment it recognizes any anomaly, first thing the action needs to be taken is to be isolated. So this can be done automatically without any manual intervention.
Thank you, sir. It was my fault, sir. I joined late. But one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Regarding the stolen money, sir. Are there any forensic tools where we can actually recover the stolen money or the property, sir?
Yeah,
Right now?
unfortunately, as of now, no.
Oh, okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That,
Thank
that
you,
is
sir.
what
Thank
I'm
you very
saying.
much, sir.
Through wormhole, the moment it gets transferred, no, and if you see from transferring it from Bitcoin to Solana to Ethereum, in every transaction, the entire format itself is changing, right? So, in the first place, in the first explanation which I have covered, even if you want to change one transaction and try to understand it, the entire blockchain breaks. So it is very difficult for anybody to trace back that money once it goes into a blockchain, a different blockchain. Especially if it goes into decentralized blockchain, then it is extremely difficult because there is no regulator. But whereas in centralized exchanges, at least there is some kind of centralization. Wherein servers, you'll be able to find out. At least if you notice during this presentation, at least we could find out that the money has changed hands from Bitcoin to or stable coins to Solana to Ethereum. At least we could find that out. But in decentralized exchanges, even that is not possible.
Oh, sorry, sir. I just missed everything, and I think the main
No issues.
topic of understanding was decentralization and centralization, and the
Yes.
main difference between cryptocurrency and Ethereum, sir. So it will be great if I get hold of your recording, sir. But thanks a
Yes.
lot for your session, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Satyendra ji, recording would be available. Thank you.
Thank you,
The
sir. Thank you,
recordings.
sir. Bharti, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I
Mr.
think
Abhishek has got
yes.
some raised his hands.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This was a very impressive presentation, very helpful to understand new terms. I think as the digital currencies are gaining prominence because of the launch of ETF and other things, I believe this becomes a very important aspect as well financially. And also, as you mentioned, how the infrastructure is built in and how uh, the security threats are evolving and they are getting more sophisticated by the day. It helps all the more to understand how to prevent it, because
Absolutely.
the slide that you showed on the uh, action points, that is really an eye opener, that we can
Yes.
actually have a physical tokenized system being connected, always being connected. And even in phone we are always connected, we feel that it is a good thing, but now it is a reflection that we can actually disconnect from the online systems to be safeguarded, so that at least it's a first level. And then you also talked about two-factor authentication and other
Yes.
things. So I think these security threats getting sophisticated, the that you highlight was how to prevent. And of course, there are
Absolutely.
agencies, but I think everything would evolve, and all the more that there is no regulator. That is again a very challenging, and now it is the global phenomenon. Like someone sitting
Correct.
in North Korea, if they hack into the system, then it's really impossible to trace back and get, even locally if there is a theft. It's really difficult to get back the amount. And when it becomes a
Absolutely.
global connected systems, again chasing the money trail with so much complexity that you can actually break that trail by converting into multi currencies or multi exchanges. Again, the complexity is immense. So thank you so much for explaining this through, sir. I just wanted to understand. See, again, we come from a financial and equity market, so our vested interest is
Mhm.
always looking at companies where we can invest, because going forward this theme will become very active. And then
Yes.
I was just thinking whether is
Uh,
company listed private in general and in specific Bitcoin on crypto side. Are you aware of any companies, startups where we can read, we can understand what they are doing, how they are developing, some sort of material where we can search, of course, that you know.
Offhand, I'll not be able to tell you that, yeah, but there, yes, there are available. So we can maybe curate it and send it across through Puratan, and then we can take it forward thereafter. But yes,
Okay.
that is the need of the hour, please. So we have to identify, you have to evaluate a lot of companies which are dealing with it, how they are operating, what they are operating, what are their
Mhm.
mechanisms. technical controls, disclosure mechanisms, incident monitoring, and how much they are investing. Like
Right.
one of the parameters which I keep looking at it is how much they are investing out of their total revenue on the information security perspectives.
Right. Because there was, I shared with Puratan as well. There was one company, listed company, I think Jet King Infotech or some listed company which had raised money, significant money, and
Yes, it
invested
is
in
Jet
crypto.
King. Yeah, it's Jet King.
So yeah, rejecting. So they had raised good amount of money and invested in crypto. Now,
Yes.
of course, we feel happy that this company had invested in crypto, and crypto like Bitcoin is reaching one, and because it's publicly known, and how this hacker group, if at all they hack into the system, it's a risk. So yeah,
Yes.
this helps. Uh, and also, how does
Yes,
this
definitely. It's
bug bounty aspect is like? Is it a team? Does it a company involved? How does this bug bounty programs
no,
run?
so
Just
so these are launched by the respective companies. Like even Microsoft has bug bounty program. Even Oracle, Apple has got their bug bounty programs. So what basically happens is they say that ours is a black box. Whatever our mobile application or a web portal application is there, so you please hack it. So they give. Otherwise, if you don't give that, then it becomes unethical hacking, right? So
okay. So
all the bug bounty programs, they are ethical means of telling the people who are interested in finding out the bugs into my system. And
okay.
for
So
finding
so
out that bugs,
anyone can do it.
uh, yeah, any individual can do it. So
Okay. Okay. So
recently there was a 12 or 14-year-old boy who found out a bug in one of the biggest entities, and he was paid almost close to 200 crore or 2 crore rupees for finding out that bug. So, like in this case, CoinDCX has
Mhm.
announced that they will give $11 million if somebody
Right.
finds out the
Right.
bug and tells us. So, once the bug is known, then they will take action to prune that bug.
So, as you had mentioned about Lazarus project, like the North Korean
Yes.
group, is
Hmm.
there any very famous or prominent bug bounty uh, group which works on ethical hacking, which we would be interested in just following them, marking them, what is happening, just as an
No, no.
awareness,
So,
what they're doing.
unlike
Any
AP,
interesting
no,
group?
unlike APT groups, the Lazarus group, or there are a lot of Chinese APT groups, or there are a lot of Russian groups. They are the ones who are targeting. Okay, bug bounty program is a program done for ethical hackers. So there is
Mhm.
nothing called a particular bug bounty program which you can track, but the company which you are investing in, right? So you have to look for their bug bounty program. Do they have a bug bounty program? Are there any people who are responding to that bug bounty program and things like that? So a company of interest, you should look for their bug bounty program. Instead of there are
Okay.
no specific groups. Bug bounty
Mhm.
program sitting there, somebody is sitting there in Bhavnagar or somebody sitting in Trivandrum. Anybody can participate and take part into it.
Interesting. Thank you so much for this, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate this, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. So anyone else has a question? Please let us know. I think this has been a really, really interesting session and first of its kind. Arun sir, if you are available, I would seriously invite you to welcome our guest, retired group captain Sameer Kulkarni sir. I'll have to just check whether Arun sir is there or not.
Yeah, no issues, no issues.
The couple of hands which were raised during the session, and anyone has a question, please let us know. I think Surendra ji, you also wanted to ask a question. So, I mean, Sameer sir, while participants still gather the questions, one thing is that the management, or the rather the let's call it as a management, the management of CoinDCX, I think there was a one is revealing it to the public, but then
Mhm.
is knowing yourself that you have been hacked. And if an ethical hacker has to tell you, I think it is a really breach of trust, is what I would say.
Yes.
It is not a breach of a system or information or technology. If the person comes to know through some ethical hacker who possibly is not a part of the system, I think then it is a breach of trust of the investors, which I think is really startling, sir. I was
Yes.
really surprised that someone else has to tell you this.
Yeah, that is what is the biggest problem, no? So real-time monitoring as of now, that is a big gap.
Yeah.
That is where the importance of security operations center. So that is what is coming up in a big way. So there are some managed service providers also who are providing these services. So people or the companies must. I'm saying must. As of now, it is not. It is even I have seen a lot of matured companies. They don't have SOCs of their own. So it becomes very, very difficult to monitor what is happening to their company.
Hmm.
So it is important for them either to set it up SOC with SIEM and SOAR functionalities nowadays, because as of now the attack surface is growing in enormous, right?
Okay.
And for an attacker to get access to it, you hardly require a connection. So whether it is through 5G, through Starlink, through anything, they can reach your critical information infrastructure.
I
So it
see.
is just to know from where which attacker is attacking or they are trying to do what nefarious activities. There is a need to monitor them in real time.
Understood.
And the first part is to isolate it. That is the biggest part. So in our terms, we call it SOAR, security orchestration and immediate response. So these are done through AI and ML kind of technologies. There are some
Okay.
agentic AI solutions, agents getting involved into it. So a lot of functionalities are being provided. That
Understood.
must be incorporated into the system.
Understood. 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 Okay. I think that's really helpful. I mean, it's an eye opener for us. I think all of us. It's getting scary. Is what I feel. The more questions we ask you, it feels like
No,
first
no,
of all
no.
we need to
So
protect ourselves.
you need to protect ourselves. You have your personal digital hygiene. That is very, very important. And
Yeah.
have proper security controls. Normally, we don't give it to third party saying that nahi yaar, hamara expose ho jayega. But then that is also a need of the hour.
Right.
So give it to third party. They will expose whatever vulnerabilities are there, and you plug those with technical controls.
Understood. So I
Yeah,
think we
Mr.
have
Anil.
two questions that we'll pick up and then we'll close the session. We had planned this for 1 hour, but as you
Yeah.
can see, with this kind of information, I think people decided to stay long. So Anirudh ji, if you have any question, and we have one member who's logged in from his iPhone, he
Yeah.
or she. So the two hands we see as raised. Anirudh ji, if you have a question, please ask your session. Otherwise, we are close to
Yeah.
the end of the session.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. I
Yeah.
just have one question regarding the cyber threats that you were talking about when it came to crypto, right?
Mhm.
All the preventions that you had mentioned, it had something to do with after after a company has built something on the blockchain itself, like smart
Correct.
contracts or something. So my question is there any more scope to security enhances when it comes to the blockchain itself? So that these kind of hackings can be prevented.
So again, I will reiterate here. The
Okay.
blockchain is a technology, underlying technology. It is extremely secure. It is extremely secure by design itself. Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to blockchain technology per se, you have the transactions stored in multiple nodes, right? Those who are mining the bitcoins or they are mining the cryptocurrencies, they are operating on nodes. So, and there is a consensus mechanism wherein at least more than 50% of all the people participating, if they don't agree to the transaction doesn't get recorded itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the kind of thing which is happening in blockchain. So, underlying blockchain technology is extremely secure. The problem is what happens with associated systems. So, in this case, it is a integration which was there for liquidity management. Okay, just to
Yeah.
transfer funds, you have some operational account and for people to access it. Otherwise, how will you interact with the exchange, right? So in
Yeah, now
those
it makes more
servers,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, so in those servers, there was some vulnerability which were found.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, I just had that little doubt. Yeah, now it makes more
Yeah,
sense. Thank you.
yeah. So if you take care of the servers, the integrations, the application programming interface, which are used for the transaction going from one form to other form, and things like that, if you can secure them, if you secure your password, then there is no problem whatsoever. So I would take forward what Puratan had this thing. Let's be assured that that there is no problem in dealing with the cryptocurrency. Yes, security is of paramount importance. If you take care of it, people should use it
I see.
and don't get fearful about it.
I see.
So we'll
Yeah,
take one more question. I think our user logged in from an iPhone,
yeah.
secure phone indeed. So security is better than Android here, I think. So if you
Yes.
have a question, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we have come to the close of the session. So we have a user who's raised his hand, his or her hand from an iPhone device,
Good
is what we
evening.
understand. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, please go
Good
ahead.
evening, Mr. Pootan and Mr. Kulkarni. Thank you for hosting this. It was very nice and very well explained by you, Mr. Kulkarni. Now, in short, what I understand is that the hackers hit the CoinDCX own hot wallet, which was a liquidity wallet that they were holding. That was to make the transactions quicker, okay, and it didn't go to any of the customers' cold wallets. Okay, that was fine. But is there not, just like the banks have it, where when any money that comes out does get reconciled with the customer's account, do these exchanges not have anywhere where they, when some money is getting out of the hot wallet, it is actually being reconciled immediately with the cold wallet? There should be some form of reconciliation. You can't just have money going out of somewhere and there's no reconciliation happening on the other end. And it should be picked up automatically by the systems. You don't need a manual intervention. You don't need an outsider to let you know that this is what is happening. If for a big gap there is no reconciliation happening, it should automatically get flagged and systems should start operating. That's the way that I used to design my software.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. So there is reconciliation available when it comes to transfer of money from the normal blockchain to the cold wallets, right? So there are proof of stakes, there are consensus mechanism which are used for reconciliation as well as establishing that the transaction is really genuine. So from transferring that to this thing is definitely there. But when it comes to the integrated system, that is where, as of now, the challenge is, which is being exploited by the hackers. So there, again, it is an evolving field. So it will come out. Slowly, we'll have this, as you rightly said, if you are a software developer. Earlier, it was only DevOps. And now the concept is coming as DevSecOps. So secure by design only if you design a software. So if you can have those security mechanisms in isolating the transactions from operating account to next transaction level and things like that, I'm sure these things will not come up in future.
Right. So it's actually pretty simple to plug this gap, whatever they have.
Yes.
Probably somebody never thought of it the way I have actually done that, what I just told you. Roughly, I'm not 100% sure, but close to about 26, 27 years ago when I was doing Java. So
Absolutely.
I had done it the back way as well to check it in both sides that it actually works in both directions, not just one direction. And I'm very surprised. Yeah, I'm an old timer. I come from the DOS days.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised that nobody has thought about it to verify it in both directions. Well,
Yes.
that's
That
a
is an
lesson
issue.
learned, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. I think we have come to the end of the session. Beautiful discussion we have had. We have very senior members here And I think the word will spread around from here. And we hope to host you many more times with interesting topics. And I hope this world at least becomes more secure, is what we
Definitely, definitely.
so as the word spreads around. But thank you very much, sir, for being here and for taking time not only for the presentation but making such a beautiful and a crisp presentation. I'm really impressed with the presentation style. I
Thank you
think
so
it
much.
goes a long way in saying that you spent enough time doing this. Thank you very much, Abhishek. If you'd like to add something to the closing session, I know this is a family time for everyone, and yes,
So,
Abhishek, if you'd like to
so,
add on something before
yeah.
we can.
So thank you so much. Just want to thank you again. You also had to take out time on Sunday evening. Uh, and it was really interesting, very informative, and I think the timing was also right. So henceforth we'll also take the learnings home. We'll implement, try to at least implement and be secured, digitally secured. So thank you so much for this.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
all.
much, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Also, I will be happy to contribute in future. Also, look forward to more such a engaging sessions, I would say.
Certainly. All right, sir. Thank you very much, and have a nice
Yeah.
evening. Take care, and thank you, and bye bye.
Thank you all
Thanks a lot. Have a
participants.
good day.
Thank you for taking out time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
in front of the game.